Welcome back to Ask Radrat, where I answer all of your questions about skateboarding topics. First up today, we have French Metalhead, who wants me to talk about grabs and foot plants in street skating. So, pretty open-ended question, I guess. Just what's my opinion? Is it, a cool thing to do or not? There was a video I saw recently. I wish I remember the guy's name. Mike Hellstrom in the comments, he showed me this video. And it's a guy who does like bonelesses everywhere, into and out of manuals, onto ledges, into grinds, all that kind of stuff. And if you watch that and you mentally switch that to like a basic trick, like a frontside flip instead of a boneless 180 finger flip, it wouldn't be all that interesting, But the fact that he's doing something different that isn't seen a lot is pretty cool. Now, it's really possible to cheat with that kind of stuff, like boneless and kind of just hang out and flip it and make sure it's going to land and then jump on at the last second. As long as you're doing it cleanly with style, I think it's a really good way to mix up your tricks. And I really like that video part. So I think doing all kinds of foot plants, like fast plants and bonelesses and no complies, all that kind of stuff could be a really good way to expand your tricks. But some of the stuff you see online, like landing in an extra no comply, like no comply to no comply, all that kind of stuff, it can go a little bit too far. But as long as it's done with style, if it's clean, if it's a cool trick, then I think it's a good way to set yourself apart. And then grabs. Grabs, kind of a similar thing. You don't usually see a lot of grabs these days. I think the only thing you need to do to make sure you do a grab on street properly is to have enough airtime where you can tweak it a little bit. If you're just touching it with the tips of your fingers and then you let go and land, it's not going to look like much. And you used to see that back in late 80s. A lot of times you would see people do a flip trick and then just kind of touch their board as it came around. And maybe on paper that was a 360 flip tail grab, but it wasn't really, So to really kind of make the board do something that you couldn't do with only your feet, that's what makes it cool. And so flying out of a bank or anything, even downstairs, like the Switch Japan, Lizard King I think did that, the Switch Japan, like that's cool, and I think it's a lot more interesting than seeing just another kickflip. All right, my next question is from No Limit and Ollie Henson, who both asked similar questions. How does skateboarding find you, and what is your motivation to keep going? I've talked very briefly about why I started skateboarding, but mostly it was from the ending videos in Tony Hawk 2, mostly the Rodney Mullen one. So I remember I was playing the game and you can do kickflips, you can do 360 flips, blah, 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 and then a lot of the videos you unlocked at the end were those same tricks. Then you had Rodney Mullen doing all this weird stuff. He did Casper Slide, right? It was a manual, but the board was upside down. It blew me away and I thought, wait, you can do that? Like, that's okay? You can just do whatever you want? And it kind of made something click in my head, and I realized that that's something that you can really explore. It's like, you can come up with your own thing. It's not a competition to do the best kickflip. You can make it your own, and you can do whatever you want with skateboarding. And when I saw that, that's something I really wanted to do. So I went to Kmart and bought a cheapo skateboard, and the rest is history. I've been skating ever since. That was early 2001, I guess, because it was before Tony Hawk 3 came out. But anyway, it's been 16 years now that I've been skating. And so what is my motivation to keep going? For me, it's not something I have to work on. I really like skateboarding. I'm always thinking about it. When I'm driving down the road and I see a stair set with a handrail, I picture someone doing a blunt on it or something, It's just like, that's where my mind is something that I'm always thinking about. I have dreams about skateboarding. It's just, it's not a chore. If you need to force yourself to do it, then why bother, right? So I think just having the love of skateboarding, always thinking of that next thing you're gonna try. I can't wait until the snow dries and then I'll be able to go out and do this. And just always sort of having it in mind. That's always how it was for me. That's what keeps me going. I'd like to hear your stories below in the comments. And then until the next video, here are some more videos I made recently. And don't forget to subscribe as well by clicking my logo on screen. And thank you for watching.